The total amount I tell you at the end of this video should be how much it costs to get this whole room painted. Hey guys, I'm going to be doing some DIY over the next few days. This is my lounge. The ceiling was falling down, so all of the books and bookcases are currently out, so it's the perfect opportunity to decorate. However, we don't have the funds to get decorators in, so I am going to DIY, sort these walls out and paint them all on my own. Now, the only pieces of equipment I had to hand to start off with are sheets of tarpaulin, which I'm going to put down on the floor so that I don't get paint on the wood, and a single paint scraper. So I needed to go today and buy everything that I'd need to do this project. So I thought I would show you what I got. So here is the list of things I've bought today to allow me to DIY this space. And in theory, this should be, fingers crossed, everything that I need. So this should be the total cost spent. We'll see if that ends up being the case, but if so, the total amount I tell you at the end of this video should be how much it costs to get this whole room painted, because obviously I'm giving my time for free. So the first job we've got to do is basically smooth out and undo some of the stuff previous tenants have done to the walls. So in order to do that, I've got polyfiller to fill in any holes, cracks, etc. that I find on the walls. I've got my little scraper anyway to scooch off some lumps. And I grabbed a Rolson hand sander. All of this stuff, by the way, that I've bought has been in one single trip to a very large B&M. So this is my little hand sander. It does come with some sheets. I didn't realize it was Velcro to put the sandpaper on. I think that's kind of cute. I also got a pack of these. It did come with some, but I didn't know how quickly I'd run through them. So I've got one pack of sanding paper and the actual hand sander itself. Once I've smoothed out all the stuff on the walls, the next thing I'm gonna have to do is the edges and everything. So I've got masking tape to help me get started with that. Basically tape where I don't want to paint, where the edges are going to be of the zone that I'm painting. I then grabbed a 5-pack set of brushes. You can see behind me that there is a picture rail. So I've got to use these for the space above the picture rail and the coving, like that gap there. And then I need to cut in underneath the picture rail as well. And then I've got dado rails, windowsills, the stairs, etc. to be working with. So this was a pack of 5 of different sizes. Then we got the actual equipment for the painting of the walls itself, like the big zones. So I grabbed an extendable paint roller. I've been watching TikToks of professional painters doing walls, so fingers crossed I'm gonna use the right technique to do so. But I have above and below the dado rail sections to do, and they're going to be different colours. So what I did is I made sure I got another outside. Basically this will be for one colour, and then I've got a spare in this pack here. So I've got a spare and then an extra, as well as my paint tray, and there is a little smaller hand roller in here. So this is obviously where I'm going to pour the paint in, and then I'll use the roller to actually get it on the walls. And then we've got the big stuff, the actual paint. I've got white paint here to do things like the dado rail, the skirting boards, and I realise now I can also do my radiators with this, so I think they'll really pop nice and bright and white. Then we've got the actual colours for the walls. So where the purple is behind me now, I'm going to be doing Emerald Glade. This is quite a bold green. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm probably going to have to do multiple coats because the purple that's on the walls is very dark. But then we've got the star of the show. Because whilst you may have guessed from the kind of clothes that I wear and the stuff that I posted, my favourite colour is pink. My favourite colour is actually yellow because it's so happy. I'm going to be putting this colour Lemon Days, where the magnolia currently is on the walls. This colour combo, green and lemon, I know it's pretty out there, but I think it's going to be this is a kind of traditional Edwardian lemon yellow. This isn't quite Edwardian green, but they're relatively traditional colours, but this is a very fresh, modern palette and hopefully execution. So it's going to be green with a white dado rail in between and then yellow above. Oh. But because of the size of the room, I had to get 3 tubs of the yellow and 2 tubs of the green. So my total cost for 1 white paint, 3 yellow paints, 2 green paints, a sander, sandpaper, polyfiller, hand paint brushes, rollers in a tray, the extendable roller, and 3 packs of 3 masking tape got me to £185.96. There is everything that I got here on the receipt. Fingers crossed this will be it. I'm hoping I don't have to spend any more money. But wish me luck. Feel free to follow along. This is going to be the content for the next few days. And I'm now going to go and start prepping the walls. I've got to sand everything down, like take all the lumps out, smooth everything with polyfiller, and then they will be cleaned so that tomorrow morning I can just come in. Maybe I'll try and do the taping today. I don't know, we'll see how quickly the walls dry after I've cleaned them. It might be a case I come in the morning, put up all my masking tape, and then paint. Got to do at least 2 coats. I might actually end up doing 3 of the green. I've never done anything like this before, so I'm really excited. Wish me luck, and I'll let you know how it goes.